Hi everyone, this is Veronica and I am a faculty of English at Scholars Hub. Today we are going to start with the first lecture of the series of learning English. Before dwelling into the intricacies of the subject, I really want to tell you about two things to ponder. First thing is when you are learning a language, don't learn it as a subject, as a mere subject for scoring good marks. Learn it as a language, like Hindi, like Sanskrit, like French. Learn it as a language and not a subject, because when we learn it as a subject, we might forget about it after some time. And because our environment is not so that we speak English in our daily lives, this would lead to actually forgetting about the rules of English in a very short time. So जब भी आप इंग्लिश पढ़ें या कोई भी लैंग्वेज पढ़ें तो ट्राई करें कि आप उसे सब्जेक्ट की तरह ना याद करें बल्कि एक लैंग्वेज की तरह याद करें, because a language stays with you for the whole of your life. It is basically investing in something very, very important. Alright, so today let's start with the very basics of English, where I will be defining you and distinguishing between three terminologies that come into place when we learn English. Alright, so first terminology is speech. So what is a speech? Speech is basically a meaningful combination of sentences put together to identify the particular topic that we are talking about. Alright, for example, if I have to talk about weather, तो मैं मौसम के बारे में लिखूंगी, या अगर मुझे my experience, my vacation experience मुझे बताना हो तो मैं उस particular vacation के बारे में लिखूंगी, how it started, how the plan became and how we went about completing the vacation and how good it was for us to go to a particular place and enjoy with our loved ones. Alright, so this is a speech. When I say a sentence, how will you distinguish between a sentence and a speech? See, basically a sentence is a meaningful combination of words and speech is a meaningful combination of sentences. Alright, so one more terminology that I would want to introduce you today is the term phrase. Now you will be wondering, okay, we know what speech is, we know what paragraph is, so speech is paragraph, alright? Now what is a phrase and what is the difference between sentence? See, a sentence is a meaningful combination of words and is complete in itself. Alright, अगर मैं बोलूँ कि मैंने खाना खा लिया है तो ये जो सेंटेंस है ये अपने आप में कंप्लीट है. इसका इंग्लिश में वर्जन क्या बनेगा? I have eaten my food. मैंने खाना खा लिया है. Alright, but if I say a phrase is also a combination of words, but the main thing to remember is that it is not complete in itself. Alright, for example, a flying kite. It is a phrase. Alright, it is a meaningful combination of words, but ये अपने आप में complete नहीं है. So this is the difference between a sentence, phrase and a speech. Speech में तो फिर sentences को आपने meaningfully जोड़ दिया, किसी topic के बारे में आप बात कर रहे थे. I hope I'm clear to this point. Okay, so now I'm going to tell you why I told you the difference in the first place. Is because the next thing that we're going to learn is parts of speech. Parts of speech. We don't say parts of sentence, we don't say parts of phrase, we say parts of speech. Why? because in a speech, these all parts can be included, but it is not mandatory that in a sentence all these parts of speech can be included. Alright, so just giving you in an introduction, parts of speech, there are 8 parts of speech that I'm going to discuss just now, but let me explain it to you. अगर हम कह रहे हैं कि हमारे पास 8 parts of speech हैं, क्या हम उन 8 के 8 speeches को parts को एक sentence में use कर सकते हैं? नहीं, we cannot use it. That's why we call it a part of speech and not call it a part of sentence. Alright? Oh, so let's get into parts of speech. So first part of speech is your nouns. Nouns is basically what? संज्ञा. आप हिंदी में संज्ञा पढ़ते हैं, उसी तरह से इंग्लिश में संज्ञा को noun बोला जाता है. So the name of a person, place or a thing is called noun. देखिए ये जो लेक्चर है, we'll try to today only talk about the terminologies and all the explanation about different terminologies and different parts of speech like nouns, pronouns, वो हम next class में देख लेंगे. Alright? So हम एक एक टॉपिक हर एक लेक्चर में डिस्कस करेंगे. हो सकता है we can use more than one lecture to complete one topic because sometimes the rules are so much that it cannot be completed in one topic, and I will try to limit down the time of my video to about 10 to 12 minutes so that it does not get boring. So now let's talk about the other parts of speech. First is sangya, the second is sarvanam, noun and then pronoun. So sarvanam को English में क्या कहते हैं? Pronouns. Alright, so if I have to define pronouns, I will go like this. Pronouns are the words that are used in place of a noun. Noun की जगह यूज होने वाले शब्दों को हम pronoun कहते हैं. जैसे for example, ये तब यूज होते हैं जब हम nouns की repetition को avoid करना चाहते हैं. For example, if I have to talk about Ram. Alright, so if I say Ram is a good boy, Ram studies well, Ram comes to school daily, Ram is punctual in his homework. So what are we seeing is that we are repeating the word Ram again and again. So in order to avoid that, we use he in place of Ram. So this is pronoun. Alright, so next comes adjectives. Adjectives are the words that add meaning or define a noun or a pronoun. अगर हम इसे हिंदी में ट्रांसलेट करें तो एडजेक्टिव्स का मतलब है विशेषण. विशेषण मतलब जो शब्द संज्ञा या सर्वनाम की विशेषता बताए. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, द कलर ऑफ माई साड़ी इज रेड. Alright, so red is defining the color of my sari. Sari is a noun, so red becomes adjective. Alright, it is defining. So all the colors, all the qualities of an individual are all included in adjectives. Going forward, we'll talk about verbs. Verbs are basically action words. हिंदी में इनको हम क्रिया कहते हैं. क्रिया का मतलब है जब हम कोई काम करते हैं. Right now, I'm recording a video. I am teaching. Alright, you guys are learning. You are listening. All these things are what? Action words. So these are called verbs. हिंदी में क्रिया. Fine. Now comes adverbs. Sometimes what happens is that in a sentence we need to now clear or define the meaning of a verb. For example, I write neatly. I write. I is your pronoun. Write is your verb and neatly is your adverb. What happens now is that you are defining the quality of your action. आप अपनी action की quality को define कर रहे हो कि मैं कैसा लिखता हूँ, मैं neatly लिखता हूँ. So your neatly becomes adverb now. Alright. Next part of speech is preposition. Prepositions are basically words that describe the position, time, and place of a noun or a pronoun. For example, the cat is sitting under the table. टेबल के नीचे cat बैठी है. Alright? So, यहाँ पे cat is your noun and where is she sitting? Under the table. Table के अंदर. So, under becomes your preposition. So, if I have to give you examples, they go like in, at, under, between, through. Right? Alright, so next part of speech that we're going to talk about is interjections. अब interjections का मतलब क्या होता है? Sometimes we need to include emotions in our communication. Obviously, when we communicate with an emotion. Fine. So, for example, if I'm feeling good today, so what would I say? Wow, what a wonderful day. So this word wow becomes your interjections. And if there's a situation that I got surprised in, I will say, oh, I did not know about it. So, oh becomes your interjection. The next word is your conjunctions. Conjunctions are what? Conjunctions are basically the words that combine two different words, two different phrases, or two different sentences. For example, Ram and Shyam are playing in the garden, right? So, and are is the word that is combining Ram and Shyam. So, and becomes your conjunction. Alright, we'll talk about all the conjunctions. For example, it is either, or, neither, nor. All of these words are included in conjunctions or connecting words. One more thing, articles. Articles a and the. They are used before a noun or a pronoun. It's used between before a noun. So it is to qualify that noun. So it is a part of an adjective itself. We'll discuss all of it in the coming videos. Alright, so that is all for today. I hope you like this video and I hope that you want to continue with me during this journey of ours. I will not call it a lecture series, I will call it a journey towards building a good communication between us. Thank you so much.